What's up, my Hans fam, and happy Hansoween Day 3. Today is a pop art demon collab with my best friend, RawBeautyKristi. She is also doing 31 Days of Halloween, so definitely go check her ass out. I just adore the fuck out of her, and I know you guys will too. I will have her video and her channel linked down below, as well as product details and Halloween tips. Let's get to it. We're first off gonna bust out some good old model magic, which is a lightweight air drying clay, and make us some badass horns. Mold it into the desired shape and make sure your other horn matches. Now with a spatula or any tool you see fit, I am just using a bent bobby pin because that's what I had next to me and it worked. Make some indentions towards the bottom to create an aged bone effect. I also added some small ones for the cheekbones too because I want it to be as three-dimensional as possible. Paint these with the color you choose for your demon, in my case pink. Add shadow to the bottom of the horns and a highlight in the center since that part pops forward. Line with black, and voila! You guys know I love to draw a quick idea photo on Facetune, so here that is, and now just to sketch out the features of our demon. I use a pencil, and when doing symmetrical looks, I love to use the pencil itself as a ruler to measure if both sides match up decently. This will really help you when trying to see if your cheekbones are the same size, and so forth. I usually don't do the mouth first because I like to eat and drink, usually coffee or beer while I film, but doing the teeth first gives me a good chance to see exactly how this will fit my face. The teeth should get smaller as they would go back into your mouth, and try to do it so the line of your lips does not interfere with the actual teeth. This will make it look much more realistic. I also included some little creepy mouths on my chest as well. We're going to be using a lot of water activated paints for this tutorial. They activate with water and then they get nice and creamy. Go in with whatever color you chose. Obviously I chose pink, so I'm just putting that all over my body other than the teeth. When you get close to the teeth, use a smaller detail brush just to get right around the curves. For these gums, I'm going in with a dark pink because these are basically going to be the gums that are receding backwards. We do want it to look very three-dimensional, like the face is curving forward. You can even use this to deepen the sides of your chest mouths as well. We want those to as well look like they're just popping forward. With this dark port kind of color, I go into these last remaining spots. This will be basically where our mouth is very hollowed out, the deepest point. Same with the mouths on our chest too. I am just filling in everywhere between the teeth. Darken around the edges with a little bit of pink eyeshadow. Now to connect our cheekbones to our jaw, I'm drawing down these little tendrils, and this is just with that pink body paint again. This will in turn really help with the illusion that our cheek is very hollow. Continuing with that pink paint, I am just sketching out the gums just on the dark pink portion. Cream paints over water activated paints, they were made to be together. They highlight so beautifully. So using white cream paint, I want to highlight the high points of our face. Use dabbing motions so that it doesn't pick up any of the paint underneath. Using that pink eyeshadow again, I'm going to start sketching out where all of the shadows would be. It's just like by our eyebrows, I want to add a little bit of contour to the nose. To intensify these shadows even further, a dark purple is the perfect shade, especially focusing on the top gum line where that cheekbone we created would cast down a shadow. Deepen around the perimeter of your face as well to bring out those hollowed areas. I'm bringing these purple shadows around underneath my eye and on top of the lid just to incorporate the eye into the entire look. I'm doing just about the same thing on my body, contouring out my little collarbones, a little deep part in my neck, whatever this is called, and the gums around the chest mouths. I don't have a better word for chest mouths, that's just what they are. This will help them to look even more like they are just pulling out of the skin. Fill in the inner portions of your teeth on your mouth with black body paint. If you are wearing this out, you could do this with eyeliner or liquid lipstick. That will definitely hold a little better than these water-based paints because they will run when you put liquid on them. Our teeth are aged. Our demon really needs to brush their teeth. So adding a little bit of brown shadow on the top and to the sides. This will help them to look a little aged and a little more three-dimensional. I also add brown shadow fully to the backs of the teeth, just because that makes it look even more curved. As the teeth go back into our mouth, they would be very dark. And with black body paint now, you are just going to line absolutely everything. Pop art has everything outlined, but it also has lines that show where certain features are, shows kind of the little stress marks of the face. If you don't know exactly where to put these on your certain look, because if you do something a little different than mine, you can just research a little bit of pop art and see kind of how the lines move on the face. I also outlined my entire body in black with a really thick black line. This will also help if you, want to look a little skinnier and you stand in front of a black background. People will be like, oh my god, you've lost so much weight. And it's like, I know, no big deal. Just always stand in front of a black background. Now, the black lines were just a little too stark for me, so using that purple shadow again, I am just going to blend them out a little bit so it blends into the shadow. We already have our gums done for the back teeth, but we still need it for the front. So just add a little line in between every tooth and kind of wiggle your brush back and forth to give it a little more of a softer effect. This will make it look even more curved around the tooth. Finally, we are doing our final highlights. I know we already did a general highlight of our face, but we gotta layer that shit to make it look real. Do this on a smaller scale because we don't need to highlight absolutely everything over again. You just want that really intense contrast from those really black, bold lines to the really white highlights. Highlighting on the edge helps that shadow to look like it's much deeper too. Pop art also has a lot of white glossy highlights, which will be like the little lines. You see it a lot on pop art lips, like mine. So add a little bit of that white, bright highlight to the front teeth, on your chest mouths as well. To finish this off, I went with some classic pop art dots. For the horns, you want to remove some paint. I did this with alcohol because we want the Pros-Aid to stick really well to our skin. You put one layer down, let that dry completely clear, put a second layer down. Once that one's clear, then you're ready to stick down your horns. Add a little bit of eyeshadow around the edges of your horns, and you are done. I hope you guys enjoyed this pop art demon and want to possibly turn yourself into one. Make sure to check out Kristi. She is also doing 31 Days of Halloween. She is the shit. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these tutorials this month. Use the hashtag Hansween so I can see your looks. Love the fuck out of you, and I'll see you tomorrow.